Hi guys, I am New. The anime recap for today is The Duke of Death and his Maid. The male protagonist in the story is called Victor. No one liked him since he was a child, and his parents deliberately sent him to live in a suburban residence to avoid him, and only accompanied him with an old butler and a maid. Unlike others, the maid does not despise Victor and often makes sexy moves to lure Victor to get closer. She seems to enjoy the way Victor wants to be closer and more cautious. She lifts the hem of her skirt to show her slender thighs and feeds Victor with her mouth. These actions often annoy Victor, but his body approaches her with honesty. It's just that every time, he is very cautious. Victor is very cautious because of the curse on him. When Victor was very young, he was cursed by a witch, which led to the death of any creature he touched, which did this to ban Victor from experiencing the taste of love for the rest of his life. But no one knows why she did it. On this day, Victor's peaceful life with the old butler and the maid changes. Alice tells Victor that his childhood friend Philip is coming to visit today. Victor is looking forward to this. After being cursed, only Philip doesn't look at him differently. They haven't seen each other in years since he moves to the suburbs. Victor hopes to take this opportunity to regain his friendship with Philip. He puts on his gown after a long absence, and when Alice leans down to tie for him, Victor notices Alice's graceful figure and instantly blushes. He doesn't know if Alice is trying to ease his nervousness or if she is simply trying to tease him. Soon, Philip arrives at Victor's house with several bodyguards. Philip is being friendly, but the bodyguards are always wary of Victor, clearly afraid of Victor. At this time, a bodyguard accidentally knocks over a pot of flowers, and the moment the flower is touched by Victor, it's withered. Philip shows a look of horror instantly. Victor knows that their friendship can never go back. As expected, Philip hurriedly says goodbye to Victor not long after. Before leaving, he asks Alice to take him to the bathroom and takes the opportunity to convince her to leave the dangerous Victor, but Alice refuses to do it. Victor thinks Philip is harassing Alice and rushes forward to stop him. Philip backs away in horror, calling Victor a monster. He realizes his gaffe and confesses the real reason for his coming this time. It turns out that Philip is commissioned by Victor's mother to find out the current situation of Victor. As Victor's former friend, he is very sympathetic to Victor's suffering, but he still feels that the curse on Victor is frightening, so he can't bear it and tries to persuade the beautiful Alice to escape. Philip says this and leaves in shame. These words plunge Victor into an inferiority complex. He plucks a white rose from the yard and tells Alice that he likes her, but that he is not qualified to be in love, because his love is like this flower. It will wither when it is touched. Alice gently takes over the white rose in Victor's hand, indicating that the withered white rose symbolizes love until death, and she will be by Victor's side to help him find a way to lift the curse. From that moment on, Victor makes up his mind that he must marry Alice. After Philip's leaving, almost no one visits Victor's house. After all, everyone fears the curse on Victor. Victor's sister Viola is an exception. She is a bold girl. Viola is strictly disciplined at home, and she claims to be more comfortable at Victor's house, visiting frequently. Viola has long seen the unusual relationship between Alice and Victor, and she knows that Victor is self-abased and does not dare to actively pursue Alice. So Viola teaches Victor many ways to attract girls, but Victor never dares to take the initiative. Recently, Victor has found some clues. Viola always pays attention to Rob, and as soon as Rob talks to her, she is too shy to speak and hurries away from Victor's house. Victor realizes that Viola has a crush on Rob and that she is here mainly to meet Rob. He doesn't think there is anything wrong with Viola falling in love with an old man, and in his opinion, having the opportunity to pursue love is the most blissful thing. Just as he is lamenting the love, a stray cat breaks in and scares him. Afraid of hurting the stray cat, he quickly orders Alice to take it away. During Alice's capture of a stray cat, her clothes are torn, which makes her look even more alluring. Alice finds a note from the stray cat that shows it is an abandoned cat. After Victor sees the note, he sympathizes with the stray cat and takes it in. Victor hasn't seen his mother since he was cursed. He feels like a stray cat, a child abandoned by his family. He looks at Alice beside him, feeling a little comforted. Now Alice is more important to him than any family member. Tonight is a full moon night, and Victor feels that the moonlight at this moment is best for dancing. He plucks up the courage to invite Alice to dance with him, and Alice readily agrees. They can't hold hands like ordinary people, so they can only discreetly maintain a subtle distance and dance slowly in the moonlight. It will be the most romantic night they have ever had. After that, Alice becomes more proactive. She invites Victor to the town's celebration, pointing out, based on years of experience, that as long as he dresses heavy enough, he won't hurt anyone else. Victor thinks it's a good chance to go on a date with Alice and puts on a costume to go out with her. The costume is safe, but it blocks Victor's vision and makes it difficult for him to keep his balance. He accidentally falls through the crowd and gets separated from Alice. At this time, a woman in a nun's dress comes up to say hello to Alice. After a brief conversation, the nun says that she has accidentally mistaken Alice for Alice's mother, Sharon, and leaves in a hurry. Alice is too busy to think of the nun's weird action, but seeking Victor. At this time, Victor is entangled by a lost child, and to calm the child, he plays the piano on the side of the road. The crowd at the celebration hears his excellent play and starts dancing. Soon, the sound of the piano helps the child's mother find the child. It is the first time Victor has shared joy with someone else, and he gains a much more sense of achievement. Alice follows the sound of the piano to find Victor, and they continue their tour of the celebration. When night falls, they come to a bell tower to watch the moon. Victor reflects on the experience of the day and laments that he wants to create a romantic date, but he can't make body contact with Alice in a normal way. Alice gently comforts Victor that as long as she is by Victor's side, she is satisfied. Today's celebration isn't all she has planned. After returning home, Victor comes to her room according to Alice's arrangement. He is quite nervous when he sees the underwear on Alice's table. He doesn't know what to expect tonight. Later, Alice says she only creates a comfortable environment for Victor to sleep better, because Victor has suffered from insomnia lately. Victor knows Alice well enough and thinks she's just trying to tease him in a way that causes misunderstanding. He is too embarrassed to sleep, so he takes Alice to a lake to go boating. Under the beautiful starry sky, Victor affectionately tells Alice how much he fancies her. At this time, Alice accidentally falls into the water, but fortunately, the lake is not deep. She says that if Victor meant what he said just now, he would kiss her. She would die to do it. Victor is touched, and when his lips are about to touch Alice, his rationality stops him. Alice overturns the boat and causes Victor to fall into the water, looking like she is losing her temper. In fact, she has long known that Victor wouldn't really kiss her. She is just teasing him. Today is really perfect and full of fun for Alice. Winter is coming. Alice notices heavy snow outside and excitedly invites Victor to have a snowball fight. Victor is afraid of the cold and reluctant to go out, and Alice uses various ways to convince him. She knits a scarf for Victor, saying that if the scarf is not enough, she can use her body to keep him warm. Victor seems unable to dissuade Alice. He has to take Alice and Rob to have snowball fights and make snowmen together. When they return to the house, Alice finds that one of her earrings is missing, a relic left by her mother. Now that the wind and snow are getting stronger outside, she is completely afraid to go out. In fact, Victor discovers this earlier than Alice, shoveling snow outside the door and looking for the earring. Not long after, he is frozen by the cold wind and falls to the ground. At this time, a bat turns into a girl and approaches Victor curiously. Her name is Cuff and she is a witch. Victor doesn't see her transform. He stands up and explains to Cuff that he has a curse by the witch, prevents the other from approaching, and falls again. Cuff is intrigued by Victor, identifies herself, and unleashes flames to keep him warm. She also helps find the earring. Victor appreciates Cuff's help by inviting her into the house. When Alice learns what is going on, she welcomes Cuff warmly. Victor excitedly asks Cuff about the witch who cursed him. Cuff says that she is a child of a witch and a human, is ostracized by both witches and humans at birth, and does not know much about other witches. Some humans hate the witch and hunt people associated with the witch, and that's how her parents died. Now she only interacts with a wizard named Zane. Cuff suddenly realizes that she has inadvertently revealed too much information to humans, and quickly turns into a bat and leaves Victor's home. Alice and Victor are surprised by all this, but don't dismiss Cuff as an outlier. After all, Victor is special enough. Perhaps shortly, these two special people will become friends. After that, Alice goes out to appreciate the snowman they built yesterday. She remembers that as a child she was also in a snowy field, and Victor protected her from other children, which is why she likes Victor. She asks Victor to accompany her to skate on the frozen lake. Victor sits quietly admiring Alice's graceful figure. Just then, a crow-turned wizard asks Victor about Cuff's whereabouts, and he is Zane, Cuff's companion. Victor is startled and thinks he is hallucinating. Zane randomly transforms into a human form, but his head is still weird and looks even scarier. Alice notices the anomaly here and comes over. A bat comes out of her. It turns out that Cuff falls into the water and is saved by Alice to keep warm on Alice. Cuff transforms back into human form and shows appreciation to Alice. Alice invites Cuff and Zane to skate together fervently. It is Cuff's first time skating, and she is holding Zane tightly on the ice, shivering. Victor is also as clumsy as Cuff, who falls frequently on the ice. Alice patiently leads Victor skating while teaching Cuff to help Zane glide on the ice. Eventually, both Victor and Cuff learn to skate under Alice's tutelage. It is getting late, and Cuff and Zane are leaving. Through this day together, Cuff realizes that Victor and Alice are both kind people and have trust in them. She says that there is a witch party in a few months and that she can take Victor to find the witch who cursed him. Out of curiosity, Alice offers to follow, and Cuff readily agrees. Victor is excited, and this party may be the key to lifting the curse. Fast forward to the days of Witch Night, and Victor waits for Cuff at home. Suddenly, he hears Alice's exclamation coming from the shower and hurries in to check it out. Victor first drapes his coat over Alice and then learns that their adopted cat has broken in and taken Alice's clothes. Victor takes Alice to search the house and finds clothes that have been torn by the cat. Alice gives the dress to the cat and prepares to go back to the shower. She playfully invites Victor to bathe with her, and Victor shyly runs away. Alice sniffs at the smell of Victor on the coat and smiles. It isn't long before Cuff and Zane arrive at Victor's house. They tell Victor and Alice that in addition to the witch, there are many peculiar species involved in the witch party, and the common trait of these species is the rejection of humans. Victor and Alice must wear robes to cover their scent and pretend to be Zane's brother and sister. With these words, Zane opens a portal and leads everyone into a magical world. Victor sees many creatures he has never heard of here and is too scared to move. Alice, by contrast, is much calmer, and she observes everything and discovers that the head of the witch named Daleth is the nun who once appeared at the celebration. After counting the people present, Daleth notices Victor and Alice and asks for their identities. Cuff hurriedly stands up and explains. When she gets nervous, she tends to say the wrong thing, referring to them as her and Zane's children. Fortunately, the others don't doubt it. After Daleth finishes some chores, she dissolves the party. Some attendees walk up to Cuff and mock her disdainfully as the only witch with human ancestry in the room. Before Cuff can react, Zane is first enraged. Under his ferocious intimidation, the attendees apologize to Cuff. He doesn't notice it, but Cuff blushes unexpectedly. At the same time, Alice goes to find Daleth. She wants to know why her mother Sharon knows a witch and asks about the relationship between Daleth and Sharon. Daleth vaguely states that she had only met Sharon once, then immediately turns the conversation to Victor. She confesses that she had seen him at Victor's house years ago and knew the witch who cursed him. Alice anxiously asks Daleth for a way to lift the curse, and the answer is that the curse can't be lifted because that witch is dead and no one else can break the curse. Victor eagerly asks Daleth a series of questions, wondering why he is under the spell. Daleth is annoyed by all the questions. She hates that witch and doesn't want to continue revealing more information. She casually burns Victor's robe, leaving him with no time to ask more questions. At this time, all the attendees notice that Victor is a human and frantically attack them. The attack of one of its giant vines is about to spread to Alice, and Victor quickly touches the vine to wither it and then runs away with Alice. Cuff on the side unleashes flames to block the enemy, and Zane takes the opportunity to open the portal and escapes back to Victor's house with them. Victor breathes a sigh of relief, and although he hasn't been able to get away to lift the curse, he has found some clues. His only concern is whether Zane and Cuff would be implicated. Zane and Cuff calmly say that there are often fights at witch meetups that people will forget about it in a few days. They also say that they will often visit Victor's home in the future. It seems that they have considered Victor and Alice to be friends. Soon after Victor gets home, he gets into new trouble. He accidentally breaks a pot of flowers that Rob has carefully cultivated for decades and hides everywhere to avoid scolding. Alice is the first to find Victor in the closet. Thinking it is a game of hide and seeks, she excitedly hides with Victor and suggests that he hide under her skirt. The offer is declined by Victor. Victor feels that hiding in the closet is not safe enough and crawls under the bed with Alice. In this small environment, they can even feel each other's breathing. That's when Rob spots them. Victor can't get away with Rob's blame. In the evening, Alice takes Victor to play chess to relieve boredom. From time to time, she makes seductive gestures that make Victor unable to concentrate. At this time, a snowstorm falls outside the window, and Alice recalls the past and talks to Victor about her past. After the death of Alice's mother, Sharon, she lived with relatives and was abused by them. Sharon was the head of the Victor housemaid and had a good relationship with Rob. Rob sympathized with Alice's experience and invited her to Victor's house. Alice and Victor have known each other since childhood and agreed right away. At that time, Victor lived in daily misery, thinking that everyone in the world regarded him as a monster. His room was littered with items he had broken. When Alice arrived, it only took a day for her to clean Victor's room. Victor was not only ungrateful but also drove Alice away, apparently forgetting his childhood friend. Alice tried every means to get closer to Victor, but all failed. Victor rushed out of the house on a snowstorm night, leaving a note saying that since Alice did not want to leave, he would leave. Victor didn't take long to fall into the cold wind, thinking that his life is pointless and wanting to end everything here. That was when Alice found him. She was emotional, telling how she was saved by Victor as a child and how much she cared about Victor and didn't want anything to happen to him. Victor recalled his past with Alice and noticed the wounds on her hands, which had been cut by debris in his room. Victor then took Alice's words, and his personality began to change. It was also that night that he fell in love with Alice. Back to the present. Victor is very emotional. He knows that without Alice, his life would be over. He wants to repay Alice's kindness with his life. Christmas is coming, and Alice plans to throw a Christmas party at home, inviting Zane, Cuff, and Viola. Victor's younger brother Walter, as the potential heir to the family, has always been concerned about the current heir Victor, and when he learns that Viola is going to Victor's house, he disguises himself as her coachman to find out about Victor. By this time, Zane and Cuff have arrived and are helping to set up the scene. They are orphans and have never experienced the Christmas vibe. After decorating the Christmas tree, Zane can't help but marvel that the Christmas tree is the most beautiful thing he has ever seen. Just like Cuff, Cuff on the side looks tired enough to fall asleep, but she is actually pretending to be asleep and blushing shyly when she hears all this. Their friendship is gradually turning into love. In the evening, Viola finally arrives and hurries into the house. Walter sneaks in, only to fall embarrassingly into the chimney in front of everyone. Viola points out Walter's identity. He gets angry when he sees Victor, so he simply removes his disguise and confides his dissatisfaction with Victor. He is seen as a substitute for Victor from an early age. Only when the eldest son, Victor, cannot find a way to break the curse will the family designate him as the heir. He does not want his fate to be controlled by others, so he takes this opportunity to challenge Victor and proposes that the person who first finds a way to break the curse will become the heir of the family. For Victor, breaking the curse is more important than anything else, and he readily agrees with him. The farce doesn't affect the joyful atmosphere of the party, except for Walter's departure. Everyone spends a lively Christmas in the house. After the guests leave, Victor and Alice go for a walk in the snow. Alice has the idea of teasing Victor again, and her lips keep approaching him, frightening him into collapsing to the ground. Alice is very proud and falls into the snow with him. Victor happily admires her cute face. It is a perfect Christmas for him. After this, Walter takes Viola to his home to find a clue to lift the curse. Viola finds a notebook written by servants and rushes it to Victor's house, forgetting to inform Walter. Unfortunately, as soon as she sees Rob, she forgets about the real business. Cuff also comes to visit today, and the three girls stay in a room and chat all night long. At this time, Viola suddenly remembers the note and hands it to Alice. Alice flips through it and finds that her mother's notes mention the visit of two strangers dressed in nun's clothes. She suspects Daleth is one of them. All this is seen by the owl outside the door, which Daleth sends to spy on Victor and Alice. When Daleth learns of this, she meets with Zane and threatens him to find an opportunity to destroy the notes or Cuff will be killed. Zane is afraid of Daleth's power and can only do so. He steals the notes in the name of visiting Victor. Just as he comes to the rooftop and hesitates to destroy the notes, he bumps into Victor. Zane doesn't like to lie and tells the whole story. After thinking about it, he feels that Daleth's purpose must be harmful to Victor and gives back the note to Victor. He doesn't want to be selfish. Victor has learned from Alice that there is a secret in the note, and to save Cuff, he voluntarily hands over the note. Zane is deeply moved. He thinks of a way to let Victor perform a play together. He says that Daleth can see everything from the eyes of all kinds of animals, but she cannot hear the sound through the animals. Zane uses a special magic to destroy the note to only one piece, indicating that the note can be recovered at any time as long as he keeps the piece. Then he asks Victor to pretend to be sad. Their cooperation succeeds in deceiving Daleth from afar. Satisfied, she takes off her mask and lifts a coffin next to her. It is Sharon who is lying in the coffin. It seems that the relationship between them is not just one meeting. Soon after, Victor's mother, Gerbera, writes to ask Victor to meet. Victor is nervous about this long-lost visit since he has moved to the countryside for 10 years and has never met Gerbera. Victor takes Alice to his former home, where he decides to take the opportunity to talk about his relationship with Alice, even if it doesn't get Gerbera's approval. Gerbera is a phlegmatic person, but she gets gentle when she meets Victor. For Alice, the look she shows Alice is always sad, which makes everyone on the side very confused. Later, they learn from a maid that Gerbera and Sharon got along very well. After Sharon's death, Gerbera's personality changes a lot. In the evening, Gerbera gathers her 3 children for dinner. She calls Victor this time to discuss the issue of the family heir. Victor's dad is severely ill, and if Victor can't break the curse by next spring, Walter will be the heir. Victor has no objection to this. The most concerning issue he has is his love for Alice. When he offers to marry Alice, he is firmly opposed by Gerbera, who believes that nobles cannot marry lowly maids. Victor is furious, loudly reprimanding Gerbera for interfering in his marriage and for not fulfilling her maternal responsibilities for 10 years. Without Alice, his life would have ended long ago, and Gerbera never knows about it. Victor rushes out of the house as soon as he speaks, not noticing Gerbera's smile. She doesn't expect Victor, who was still weak when he was a child, to now dare to talk back to her. By this time, Victor has gone back with Alice. He decides to lift the curse at all costs, not for the position of heir, but to be able to marry Alice. He will not change his mind no matter who opposes it. That's the end of the story. In this anime, Victor and Alice are a couple who cannot touch each other, but this does not affect their love at all. Alice's flirtation with Victor and Victor's reaction are fantastic. I don't know if Alice dares to tease him so boldly after Victor lifts the curse. Who will be shyer at that time? I'm afraid it's hard to say. In this season's story, Sharon plays a crucial role in many secrets. She is close to Gerbera, but after her death, Daleth keeps the body. What exactly is the connection between them? And is it all related to the curse on Victor? I wish I'll have an answer in the next season. Thanks for watching. If you guys like my anime recap, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. Your support is very important to me. Goodbye.